Good afternoon. Glad to be with you today. Um, want to talk a minute about um, the fact that we have a government and we have the Bible. And the question quite often asked is what is the relationship between the two, between government and the Bible? Well, from the very beginning of this country, our founding fathers called uh, on God, um, quite often in prayer. They put God into the Constitution. They used the Bible. They quoted the Bible on many occasions. Presidents throughout history have quoted the Bible. Um, Government and religion and the Bible are intertwined, whether we like it or not. And right now, we have an opportunity to bring America back um, to its roots, its biblical roots. And yes, biblical. Um, our Constitution, um, in my opinion, was basically um, rooted in biblical values. President Trump is in the Oval Office. God is on his throne. And we, the people, have an incredible opportunity to take this country back from the radical lunatics that are trying to ruin this country. We are a free people, which means that we have to tolerate one another's beliefs. And that's fine. Um, I can tolerate a trans person. Frankly, I don't know any trans people. Uh, I read about them, I see them, they show up a lot. They cause a lot of trouble in women's sports. But you see, that's being them being intolerant of our beliefs. I believe that women ought to compete against women, and men ought to compete against men. I believe that if a woman can meet all the qualifications without lowering any, that they can certainly be in the military. They can go fight in wars. We had a B 2 bomber pilot, female, conduct one of the greatest operations we've seen in Iran just a few days back. Um, but don't shove these things down my throat, please. Don't make me agree with your craziness because I don't and I won't. And as long as you stay in your lane, I'm gonna stay in mine. I don't try to attack anybody. I don't say, you know, what you're doing is terrible, and I don't fight against you and live your life. You're going to stand before God, um, and you're going to have to answer for yourself. If you ask me, I'll be glad to tell you I'll be glad to share um, what is a sin and what is not a sin, but I'm not going to judge you. Um, but your behavior, sure, I can judge that. Um, but I'm not going to scream it from the rooftops. I'm not going to go um, to a gay pride parade and shout you down. I'm just not going to do it. But don't teach our kids to become you. Um, don't try and make yourselves normalized because you're not. I'm sorry. Any man that thinks he's a woman um, has some type of a mental problem. They just do. Um, let's take America back while we can. This is an opportunity that we may not get again. I can't say what's going to happen in the 26 election. I can't say what's going to happen in the 28 election. But I can say what's happening now. And what's happening now is we have been given the chance, we have been given the opportunity to take our country back. And if we don't take the opportunity now, um, our kids, our grandkids, they're going to suffer. Um, it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse. So, God will always be on his throne. Trump's only going to be in the White House in the Oval Office 4 more years, or three and change. And like I said, we don't know what's going to happen in 28. So let's do it now. Between now and 26, let's get as much done as possible. Let's get as many of the illegals out of here as possible. Let's get men finally out of women's sports. Let's put these criminals, and when I say criminals, these mayors and these governors and these judges that are standing in the way, let's put them in jail. That's where they belong. Treason um, is a horrible crime, and that's what they're guilty of. Anytime an elected official or an appointed official goes against the American people, that's treason. I'm sorry. Um, when you put an illegal alien ahead of a veteran, it's treason. When you put an illegal alien ahead of a person in a wheelchair who's doing their best to get by, you're committing treason. And when you incite others to join your lunacy and you get them to go out and riot in the streets, that's treason. You ought to go to jail. Every last one of you go to jail. So thank you for this time. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great weekend. Uh, but come on, guys. This is not the time to take your foot off the gas. This is the time to step on the gas. This is the time to mash it to the floor. Um, We got to do it now because we may not get another chance. Thank you.